Do you believe you have your priorities straight? Or do you have a process to determine what's most important or what's next? And are you focusing on the right things to achieve the results? Or do you sometimes feel like you're not, and you're not getting the results you want, and ultimately your priorities are completely out of line? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at your priorities and where they lie, and ultimately see if they're driving results or if you even have them in the right order. My name is Jason Humphrey. I help coding bootcamp students land their first high-paying job as a professional software developer. For some of the mock interviews I do, I ask this question about how do you juggle competing priorities? And it really blows my mind how often people truly don't have a process for figuring out their priorities, especially when they're in a boot camp. And I want to give you something to think about today as we start to build out your priority process. We're going to look at a couple main categories where more than likely your priorities lie currently. And the first is family. Now within family, I've got a couple different categories for you to pay attention to, and that is your significant other, your kids, and close family. The next category is a boot camp that you're in now, what you're learning in the boot camp, and what you're building, and ultimately what you're teaching. The next main category is health. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you exercising? And the food you're intaking. And the last one here for you guys is a little bit of me time, a good category to make sure you keep a hold of. But it goes with personal time, hygiene, and friends. We're gonna rank it by a couple things. First and foremost, fulfillment and happiness. Now the question is instantly, okay, what is the difference between those two? And let me be clear here, you don't necessarily always like your kids all the time, for example, but you do love them all the time. You don't always find happiness in your job every day, but you do feel fulfilled at the end of the year when it makes you feel like you've been a part of something bigger. Ultimately, what I'm getting at is fulfillment lasts and happiness is temporary. So that's why I want you to evaluate both here, because you're gonna find when you're ranking these things out, some things will fulfill you, some things will make you happy, but you need to recognize that happiness will go away, fulfillment will stay. And so that should take into account your ranking here of the categories up above. The next way we should be ranking these is by your goals. And first and foremost, you should be writing down your goals right now. Prime example is a lot of people have a great marriage as a goal. Second is their tech job. And maybe third is winning their bowling league, for example. And now we're gonna look at those goals and help them rank us for what is in proper order in our categories. Because ultimately in that example, right, your family will always come first, the boot camp will always come second. And then everything else after that will fall in line based on what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, and where it falls in line with your goals. So now we're gonna help you look at building a process around the ranking and the categories you have. And it starts with first question of, is it urgent? Does it look like it is something that is urgent and needs to be done right now? The second thing is value. Let's look at it as in a value perspective. Does it add value to you, any of your goals, any of your happiness or fulfillment? Good. With those two things in mind, we can then take this and make a grid system. And this grid system is heavily inspired by Stephen R. Covey's Eisenhower time management matrix that he's kind of made popular, even though it's after Eisenhower. But the difference is I have learned that value is more impactful than just being important, which is what was in the Eisenhower original matrix. Now, because it can be important to someone else, but doesn't provide any value to you, so why do we do it? And let's be clear here, we're here at a boot camp to help you change your life. So this ultimately is your time, not anyone else's time outside of your ranking system at all. So we can look at it like this, and you'll see the matrix come over the screen now. We have our priority one, which is urgent and valuable. And so you need to make sure you do these things next. The priority two, well, these are not as urgent, but they are extremely valuable. So you should start exploring putting these on your calendar, on your schedule, on a plan, on a to-do list, so you can get it done in a timely manner. Priority number three, they're urgent but not valuable. So realistically, you should try delegating this to someone that will help you out. And priority four, they're not urgent, they're not valuable. Don't be afraid to give these up and just let them go. Now, when it comes to ranking them inside of each bucket or each part of the matrix, let's look at our ranking system, fulfillment and happiness and goals. And you can take these into account when you have 5 things in the urgent and valuable column about, okay, how should I rank these based on my categories and based on my fulfillment, my happiness, my goals? What's most important to me here that I should care about most, and put that up top. Overall, you can build your own process out. That way you never ever again feel like you have to be lost in what you're doing next. And my call to action to you today is, if you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. leave a comment down below, and check out the link I'm going to actually have in the comments down below on the Ultimate Success Guide Bootcamp. Now, it's a webinar I'm hosting every Tuesday, and some of these videos that you're seeing are coming directly from the content in this Ultimate Success Guide. I'm hosting them specifically to help bootcamp students excel in finding success in their bootcamps, because I've spent the last 5 years helping people, and I want to help you next with my free content. So check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.